Hey guys, so today I am finally doing a makeup related video. I know it's been like centuries since I did one of these, but I just got some new makeup today, so I'm kind of excited to use it, and I wanted to do like a summary get ready with me slash first impressions video. So that is what you'll be getting today. And I am not naked, I have a shirt on, but it keeps sliding down. So a lot of my makeup routine has changed since the last time I filmed, since it was like centuries ago. So you guys will see like some of the products I use more now on a daily basis that I did not use before. And I also plan to do a updated skincare routine very soon, so stay tuned for that. But I'm kind of waiting for my remaining texture to go away, if it wants to. I don't know if it even will, but yeah, that will be coming as soon as my skin is at like tip-top shape. So for my brows, I have been using still the same, I'm pretty sure it's the last time I filmed, but it's the Precisely My Brow Pencil by Benefit. I am in the shade 4. Okay, this is like super high def, so like I apologize for all of the disgusting details you're probably seeing on my face. But anyway, I usually just brush my hairs upwards and then I fill in along the bottom. And I really have been liking the whole natural brow look lately because, I don't know, specifically for summer, I feel like it's just like a lot more flattering for like summery makeup than a super bold brow. And then in the middle part, I kind of just do flicks upwards. I don't like it to be too harsh there. And then I just fill it in everywhere else with like tiny strokes. And that's like pretty much all I do because I don't like the full super dramatic brow look that much anymore. So once my brows are basically filled in, I take my concealer, which I've been using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade More Medium. And I just clean up my brows with this, and to do that I just use this little tiny flat brush, which is by Tarte, and I don't know the name because I think it just came in a random set. Alright, so now that I basically cleaned up my brows, I'm just gonna go back in with the Precisely My Brow Pencil and just fill in like sort of the empty space. Okay, so the brows are finished and I'm gonna move on to my face. So for primer, I'm gonna be using Mercier foundation primer, and this is the Radiance one because I want to go for like the most glowy, dewy look possible. And I honestly don't remember ever using this. Like, I don't know if I ever have, and if I did, it was a long time ago, so this is kind of basically a first impression. But I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit on my finger and rub it in. Oh, I remember this now. It's very, very glowy. And then I'm just gonna rub it into my skin. Wow, yeah, that's like basically a highlighter. My skin is very shiny from that, and it definitely feels like tacky enough to still be a primer, so that's good. So now comes one of the first impressions in this video, which is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus cream. And I, as most of you probably know, got this from Olivia Jade because she uses this all the time. I'm not sure if she still does, but she definitely has in the past, and it always looks so good and like glowy and like light coverage on her, so I just wanted to give it a try. And I already did like test it out in the store, obviously because I needed to find my shade, but when I did, I put it on my chin and my chin looked very good with this on it, so I have high hopes for this. But I will say, if you are of a darker skin tone, this isn't gonna work for you because the shade range is like actual shit. To put it in context, I am in the shade Rich and I am the second to darkest shade, so that's basically saying something about how horrible the shade range is, and they really should do something about that. But yeah, just a warning. So I'm not gonna apply this with like any sort of sponge. I think I'm just gonna use my hands, even though that is kind of gross. Every time I see someone use this, they use it with their hands, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I guess I'm just gonna, I don't really know where to start. I'm just gonna kind of squeeze it into my fingers, I guess, and then we'll see how much I need from there. I'm gonna rub it around. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, I'm getting my skin to match my body more because it's a little bit lighter. And actually, it's like a lot more full coverage than I thought it would be, which is kind of a good thing because I am more of a full coverage type gal. But it is definitely more of an orange tone than my natural skin, So the hardest part I think about putting it on with your fingers is like making sure you get everywhere, because you can't really tell. And I'm just gonna take a little bit more on my finger and put it on my forehead because I didn't get enough for that. I keep running into my eyebrows by accident. I'm so not used to using my fingers. Okay, so there's definitely a huge difference in like the shade of this to the shade of my skin. Or not the shade, but like the tone. Because like this is more orange and my skin is more brown. But I really like the coverage and like how it makes my skin look. So that's a plus, and it's definitely very like shiny and dewy, so that's kind of, I mean, that's the look I was going for, so that's good. For now, I'm just gonna put on concealer and hope that that tones down the orangeness a little bit. So again, I'm gonna use my Born This Way concealer, and this is definitely a lot lighter than my skin, so hopefully this will kind of even it out. And I'm gonna put it under my eyes, and I'm gonna blend that out first. I like this concealer currently better than the Tarte Shape Tape, just because it's not as like cakey and like really full coverage. Like as you can see, this is not that serious coverage, so I like it for the summer, and it doesn't get like cakey under my eyes or anything, so I recommend if you are into that. So I definitely think that did make a difference in my tone, but I'm still gonna put some more on my forehead and my chin and a little bit on my nose. So I really do like this mixture. Like my skin looks so glowy, and it's basically exactly what I was going for. I just don't know if like the shade is for me. It looks definitely better now, but it is a little bit too warm for me. So I just don't know if it's gonna work, but we'll see once I'm finished everything. So I thought I would switch it up from my normal powder blush and use a liquid blush, which is the Cloud Paint from Glossier. Discount code in my description as always. This one is in the shade Beam. Definitely think this is a good shade for people with my skin tone because it's more of a dark peachy shade and not as much like pink, which I think will be good for people with like fair skin tones. I haven't put this on in a while, so hopefully it works out. I'm just gonna take the smallest bit on my finger and put it on both, and then I just like to like tap it in. And the thing I like about this is that it gives you like a really natural flush. Like it almost just looks like your skin, whereas with like powder blush you can kind of tell that it's blush. I think you can definitely tell the difference. Like it just makes you look so naturally flush, which I love. All right, so before I do anything else, I'm gonna set my face with translucent powder, but I'm gonna use the smallest amount possible because I don't want to take away much of the dewiness on my face. And I'm using my Mercier translucent powder. So I'm literally just gonna get like this much and just go over my makeup. I probably should be using more as someone who gets like greasy, but I'm just gonna test this out and see how little powder I really need. I think the shade is actually looking a lot better now. It just needed to be blended with some other things. So I do get creases on my under eyes like no matter what because I have very wrinkly under eyes. So I am gonna just take my beauty blender with the powder and pack it on more under my eyes. But that's the only place I'm gonna actually like hardcore set because nothing else will crease that badly. And I'm not really gonna let that set for too long, so I'm just gonna kind of pat it in. I forgot to mention the really good thing about this CC cream is that it has a SPF of 50, which is like great because I admittedly don't wear sunscreen under my makeup, which I know I should, and if I wear this then I'm automatically set for the day, which is like A1. So next I'm gonna do highlighter, and I am still using the ABH Glow Kit from like forever ago, and this is in the one shade called That Glow. And since I want this to be like a really like bronzy dewy look, I want to go for this shade called Dripping in Gold, and I'm using a Real Techniques angled highlight brush. And I would be using a like a cream highlight, but I like lost the only one I had. Then using this tiny little Morphe brush, which is the M508, I'm gonna highlight my nose. Alright, so before I move on to my lips, I'm just gonna spray my face with the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 setting spray, and I love this stuff. This is like the best setting spray I've ever used. It's better than the Urban Decay, the one that everyone uses, and it also smells like cotton candy, so that's great. So it just like blends all your makeup together, makes it even like more dewy, and it will make it last all day. So my second first impression thing of the day is my lip gloss. It's the Dior Lip Maximizer, and I got this in the shade 006, which I forget what the actual shade is called, but I just thought this would look good on my skin tone. It's kind of just like a regular nude. The other ones like will look a little bit too light for me. The people that I have seen wear this literally look like they got lip injections. I need that, honey. So I got this and I wanted to try it out. And I have used the Too Faced lip injection lip gloss, but I'm not crazy about that because one, it hurts really bad, and two, I never really noticed much of a difference, and maybe that's just because I never left it on long enough because it hurts. But we're gonna see if this one hurts just as bad, and if it does, I will try to leave it on for as long as possible so I can see if it actually works, which, I mean, I have seen proof that it does. Already tingling, but I really like the color. So now I guess we just wait until something happens. I did have something that came in the box of this that like kind of explained how it works, and I think there's like collagen in it and that's how it works, but I'm not totally sure. When I first heard of this concept, I was like, is that safe? But apparently it is. So it actually isn't hurting, but it feels cooling. Like it feels like a little bit of a tingle, which is way more tolerable than the Too Faced one, because that one literally just feels like your lips are being stung with a bunch of needles. So we love that. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes, and I'm not sure like how long you're supposed to wait to see a difference, but I don't see much of a difference in my lips. Maybe when I'm like rewatching this I will, but they definitely feel a little bit more plump because they feel like a little bit tingly, but it's not painful at all. So I would definitely recommend this. The only downside is the ridiculous price. I think it's like $40. But I don't know, I like it regardless of what it does to my lips because the color is just really nice and it's not sticky at all. It's very lightweight, like I barely feel like I have anything on my lips. So the last thing I will be doing for this look is just finishing my face off with the Glossier new rosewater spray, and I don't even think you're supposed to use this on makeup, but I want to, so I'm gonna do it. It's a very fine mist, which I think helps to make your face look more like dewy, so I think it would be just good for this look. Alright, so I think that is the finished look. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.